Because on the live stream, Ash was like, "Wow, what a goal! Like it's such a beautiful goal, such a beautiful pass." And in my head, I was thinking, "No, why is this happening to me?" Hello, everyone. Welcome back to another episode of All About the W. My name is Kai. Ash and I are here today to review the FA Cup semi-finals that happened over the weekend. Ash and I did do live streams for both matches, but if some of you were not there to catch that, please make sure to tune in here. And if you do want to check out bits of it, our reaction to the goals, etc., you can go check out the live stream as well. But Ash, how are you doing?
I'm doing well. It was really fun to do two live streams. I still wait in anticipation for a live stream in which City wins because apparently on this channel when we do a live stream, City cannot win. But that may be down to the year we're doing this in. Uh,
Yeah.
yeah.
At this point, like nobody can really predict what is going wrong with City. If it's the
Yeah.
injuries, if it's Nick Cushing, if it was Gareth Taylor, if it's all about the W, who knows? Uh,
Yeah. Yeah.
but before we get started, just a reminder to all of you out there to like the videos and subscribe to our channel. If you are like somebody who keeps coming back to the channel, please make sure you subscribe because it would mean a lot for the visibility of the channel and for us to grow a little bit as well. And if you feel like somebody might enjoy the content on here, do share it with them. We know that like the women's football community is not super big, so we'd like to get as much support as possible from everybody out there. But and yeah, I really hope we can do that. But you know what, Ash, let's get cracking on this FA Cup semi-finals. Let's
Yeah. Yeah, like the first game. Let's start with the first game. I think the
Yeah.
Chelsea versus Liverpool. It ended 2-1. So your prediction was absolutely on the money. Do you know your team or do you know your team? Cuthbert scored for Chelsea. Cuthbert scored in the 45th plus 2 minutes in extra time in the first half, and then Beaver Jones scored in 90 plus 4 minutes in extra time in the second half. For Liverpool, Olivia Smith scored in the 21st minute. How did you feel about the way that the two teams set up in terms of strategy?
I think it was pretty much what we expected. I think for Liverpool, what has worked in the games in the recent past has been to kind of hit teams on the counter. We saw how well they did that uh, at Anfield against Manchester United. To some extent, I suppose, even against Arsenal in the FA Cup quarterfinals. But yeah, I mean, it was pretty evident. Liverpool's strategy was pretty evident. It was like they wanted to switch play really quickly and get Chelsea on the counter. And felt like in the first 30-35 minutes, they did win a lot of those midfield battles. Um, and I mean, a credit to, I mean, it wasn't really a counter-attacking move per se that got them the goal, but the goal in itself was really beautiful. If I wasn't a Chelsea fan, I probably would have appreciated that goal a lot more. I did appreciate the goal after the fact, after
Yeah.
Chelsea actually won. I was like, hey, you know what a wonderful goal. Because on the live stream, Ash was like, wow, what a goal. Like, it's such a beautiful goal, such a beautiful pass. And in my head, I was thinking, no, why is this happening to me? Olivia Smith, why are you doing this to me? But yeah, it was, it was a really nice goal. It was like back to front. They played through Chelsea's press very, very easily. I was rewatching that goal and I felt like captain could have done a lot better to prevent that pass from the center half into the midfield. I think it was from Gemma Evans to Sam Kerr that the ball went. Like captain should have cut that out because I do feel like I felt like she was slightly switched off because she was around there, like close enough to make an interception. But you know what? Four passes and boom.
Yeah.
That's how good that goal was, and like again, it was again, I feel like another mistake from Chelsea came from Sandy Baltimore. She should have done better. She just got it all wrong because I feel like she kind of committed to moving towards Olivia Smith and basically uh, like left a massive gap between herself and Millie Bright. And she made that move. She committed to that side thinking that Hobinger was going to directly pass to her, but just because she committed, she opened up that possibility for hoping her to play that through ball, and what a through ball it was, right, Ash? Like,
Yeah, yeah, my
so
God.
beautiful. The weight on that pass was just perfect. Like literally, Olivia Smith just like waltz into the box, just the ball at her feet, and just boom. It was wonderful. It was like a wonderful goal from Liverpool, and what a player Olivia Smith is, man. I see a lot of chatter on the internet already with like teams saying, "Oh, we should get Olivia Smith." Like
Yeah,
Arsenal fans and Chelsea fans and City fans as well. They really need people, so I understand where they're coming from. But yeah, I mean, in terms of the game, Chelsea found some momentum towards the end of that first half. After like 35 minutes or so, like until about 35 minutes, Chelsea were like second to everything. It was so frustrating to watch as a Chelsea fan. Like you are not winning your 1v1s, you're not like you know just like not getting to the second balls fast enough, etc. And it was incredibly frustrating to watch. And uh, honestly, I felt like yes, Chelsea did get a bit of momentum, but I also felt like Chelsea were a little lucky to get that equalizer when they did.
yeah, yeah,
um, because it's good, no, to go into halftime having gotten that equalizer, because then the game plan shifts slightly a little bit. So
yeah.
uh,
I think that equalizer was just Cuthbert being like, "I not today," you know, to
yeah,
some
I think, I mean, off late that's how it's been a little bit, right? Like somebody just stepping up and just being like, not today, and invariably
yeah,
it's Cuthbert. But yeah,
yeah.
I mean, that's how the first half
So,
went, in my
so
opinion.
what do you think changed for Chelsea in the second half? Because they did look a lot better.
I think they just I don't think there were massive changes in terms of personnel that happened until about 60 minutes. But I think they just like had more energy about themselves. I think maybe finishing that first half on a high probably put them in a better position to come out firing a little bit in the second half. And
Yeah,
the one thing that lacked in the first half was how little Chelsea controlled the game. Like it was
yeah,
just chaos, right? Like we were talking about how stop start the game was, how Chelsea were not winning anything in the midfield.
yeah,
So that changed a lot in the second half. Like in terms of just players being more present, and in terms of how they were playing. Um,
yeah, yeah,
yeah, but beyond that, I did feel like Nuskin coming on. I think you also agreed with me on this. You
yeah,
initially had mentioned that you were not sure about that Chelsea midfield against Liverpool. Um,
yeah,
and I think Nuskin coming on made things like, I feel like it stabilized things a lot more for
yeah,
Chelsea. And we
yeah,
did look so much better going forward in attack. Like it was chaos, right? Like Captain was playing out on the wing, and it was a Nuskin, Cuthbert, uh, Walsh midfield.
yeah,
So
yeah.
yeah, I
Yeah,
mean,
honestly, I felt like Nuskin coming on really transformed it because you could shore up your midfield a little bit because it was all happening on the wings and it was all very start stop. So it was
yeah,
essential to shore up your midfield a little bit. And I also think that more than Nuskin coming on, Myra coming off, and Aggie taking a more central position. Aggie doesn't have the same set of skills as Myra, but she does offer more in terms of movement and in terms of just a creativity than Myra does to some extent because everyone kind of knows what Myra's going to do.
yeah.
Uh, would you agree with that?
I honestly feel like, so for me, the thing that's been lacking with Chelsea from moving from Myra to Aggie, right? So we've seen a lot of matches where Myra's taken off at like 70 minutes and then Aggie comes on. Aggie
Yeah,
comes on either centrally, or she moves out from the wings to like the ninth position. Um, the thing that's been lacking for me has been how the team changes the way
Yeah.
it plays when it's built around Aggie. Because with Myra, we know like what you get, right? Like the hold up play, etc., etc. When you have somebody like, when you have a box presence like Aggie, you can't go long. That's not an option anymore. So
Yeah.
you really have to either play through your midfield or really use your wide areas. And for me,
Yeah.
I feel like that's been lacking a little bit with this team. And I do think like this match against Liverpool was like a slightly better display. And I completely agree with you because, um, I mean, Aggie is probably the best finisher we have right now. I think one of the people in the live stream did point out, I think Riley pointed out that Aggie is the best finisher we have. And there's absolutely like no doubt about that. But yeah, uh, she obviously scored the winner. And yeah, just having a little more control over the game really helped. But the reality is that on the other side, Liverpool could have scored that Taylor Hines shot. Like that was
Yeah.
probably their only final third entry they had in like the second half, I feel,
Yeah.
because it was all Chelsea in the second half. And
Yeah.
um, like that hits the crossbar. That was very like they were a whisker away from like going to
Yeah,
Wembley.
that was great. Okay, like if they had scored that, I would have been like well deserved.
Yeah, absolutely.
But anyway, I feel congratulations to Chelsea for making another final all over
Yeah,
again. Uh, who'd have thunk?
yeah.
And I think should we move on to the next game?
Yeah, you know what? Let's talk about Manchester City versus Manchester United that finished 2-0 to United. Celine Bizet scoring in the 6th minute and Grace Clinton scoring in the 22nd minute. Ash, I feel like both the semi-finals were boring in their own ways. We were
Yeah,
really hoping for like an exciting goal fest in this one. Or
yeah,
at least I was. I don't know what I was thinking given City's like squad right now. I don't think you can even call it a squad anymore. You know,
yeah.
that's where we're at. But yeah, tell me what you thought about this match.
Yeah, honestly, it's so hard to discuss this game because City had such a skeletal squad, like you mentioned. It was like always going to be an uphill battle. And I was kind of hoping City would do a little bit better. Like personally, sometimes I think that it's important to also be pragmatic. You can't always win by playing football. So personally, if I had a squad as thin as City had, and I only had like effectively one or two goal scorers in my entire squad, which was at that point Fowler and Carolyn. I would have stuck 10 people behind the ball and lobbed it to Carolyn, had her run and pass it to Fowler, quick tap in. Like
Yeah.
that would be the strategy I would have gone with. I understand that City don't know how to play that way and they're not
Mhm.
trained to play that way. But sometimes needs must. You make the best with what you have. So so there is that personal sort of difference in how I would set up. So I think from the get go, I think City had the wrong approach. But I mean, I will say this as well: City are known across all of their teams to play that style, and so it's a signature style. So I don't see any time City would be like, we are the big club, we don't change for anyone else. So I understand it to some extent as well.
Yeah.
Now United, I think, started really brightly. Like they were pressing City, they were not letting them have the ball from the get-go. Like it was somewhat reminiscent of the first league game they played against United, where they were like pressing Keating and stuff.
Yeah.
Which is why I think Keating, and I think this is Keating under Nick Cushing does this more often as well, was going long more often, which is and good on her. And I think that the minute Bize put that first goal in, everyone knew it was game over because City just didn't have the goal scorers to make up the difference. But like that pass from Toon, absolute beaut. Like it was
Yeah.
such a good pass, and Bize made a good run, but really had didn't have to do that much work to stick it into goal. Although, like she was, to her credit, being pressured by like three City players and still managed to keep calm and shoot. I will say there was a really good goal and it was a really good run, but BZ does need to work on a first touch a little bit because she was in the clear, okay, for the goal, but because her first touch was heavy, she invited the pressure from the City players.
Yeah,
I mean, but like whatever, it worked out. It was a goal, excellent.
yeah,
Um, and like I feel like City was so disorganized in that difference from then on. Like this, like even till the first goal, they had some organization. After that, they just went like helter skelter. Like they weren't tracking any players or maintaining any discipline, nothing, And so, like it to me, it just felt like the second goal was inevitable. Like it was from a set corner. It didn't help that it came from a set piece where like Clinton was completely unmarked. And
yeah.
this is just one of those things where nobody's like everyone's head is gone, like they're not tracking anyone, they're not keeping an eye on what's happening.
Yeah, I honestly like thinking back to the match. I actually feel like once that first goal went in, and the defending for me on that first goal was just abysmal. Like you
Yeah,
cannot, I do think I said this in the live stream, but you cannot let a player have such a poor first touch and still let her score. You know,
yeah, yeah, yeah,
um, but like you said, credit to Bize for keeping ahead. But like after the first goal went in, they just looked defeated. Like they looked so deflated and like, you know, I was really hoping to see a City team that was, backs against the wall, so we'll turn up. Like you said,
yeah,
the claws come out. Uh, but yeah, we just didn't see any of that. And I feel like credit to some extent to Manchester United as well. They felt like City could possibly win the battles in the midfield, so they chose to go over the midfield a lot. Like even the first
yeah,
goal comes from that, right? Like Toon just like it was a great pass and a great run from Bize as well. But City just looked super defeated. Like
yeah, yeah.
yeah, especially after the first goal went in.
Yeah, I think they lost that game in their heads before they even started, personally. And I think that the final sort of death knell was Fowler getting injured in the 24th minute, because that meant that City lost all presence centrally. Like, so that even if Kasperai or Carolyn or Murphy crossed the ball in, which they did a few times to be fair to them, there was absolutely nobody to stick it in goal. Like they would put it into a good area and there'd just be nobody there because no, there was nobody like able to play that central role the way Fowler would have been able to play it. And and after that, I think United, like credit to United, they did an amazing job with game management. Like they let City have the ball, knowing they have no good goal scorers, and they constantly kept breaking up City's play. Like there were like three yellows in a row, right? Like there was like a yellow to Clinton, then there was a yellow to Tullis Joyce, who was just like time wasting, like she was time wasting in like the 60th minute or something.
Yeah,
Okay, not even like in the last 5 minutes or something like that.
yeah,
And like Leticia, who just was like too close, cut it too close and sort of like bobbed her head into, I forget whose neck, but
it was Carolyn's. Yeah,
yeah, yeah, it was Carolyn's, yeah. Um, so I just feel like all these things, like when you waste time, when you break up play, City needs to constantly be passing the ball and building that flow, to get to the goal. So the minute you do that, like City lose all sense of composure, and they were already out of it. So I think absolutely fantastic game management from United. I think they deserve to be in the final. They deserve to defend their title as the reigning FA Cup champions.
yeah,
Um,
true.
so,
Ash, quick word on Talis Joyce though.
oh my God, there was this one save. Okay, we were watching it in the water log, and my lord. So I forget who took the shot, but Talis Choice
Yui
had
took
this.
the free kick. Yui
Yeah,
took the
Yui
free
took
kick.
the
I
free
don't.
kick, and it went just under the bar. Talis Choice, uh, like it went like this. Talis Choice uh, pushed it out, fell to the ground, got up one leg, extended it out, and like saved the rebound shot. My God, I was just I was looking at it and I was just like, this is the best goalkeeper in the league. Like,
Yeah,
at that, I mean, obviously there are lots of contenders, but at that point, all I was thinking was, this is the best goalkeeper in the league.
yeah. No, I think by a fair margin, I would say she's the best goalkeeper in the league. I think Courtney Brosnan is probably like a close second for me.
Yeah,
But I mean, honestly, like during the entire match, like I think it was in the 20th minute or something, like Riviere made the slide tackle and she was like celebrating it like a goal, and there was a
yeah,
lot of like chest bumping that was going on between like Riviere and Talis. Like they were fired up and they were
yeah,
like you
yeah,
could tell that one team was really up for it and the other team was
yeah.
just not.
Yeah, especially Riviere and Talis Joyce. I think those two and Bizet. I think those three had like the most amount of energy on the field. Like they had just come to win. Like they were here to take the game to City, win the game. Like the number of like times that Riviere would just like put in a tackle or make a run, like defensive run. I was just like it was like there was an energizer battery on her, you know.
Yeah.
The same with Bizet, the same with Talis Joyce. I think everyone just put in their 100% and they came away with their prize.
Yeah, honestly, I've been super impressed by Talis Joyce. I know we said very early on in this channel that it was really stupid of United to not have gotten another goalkeeper. I
Yeah.
feel like we're eating our words now because she's really turning up. And to me, I think this makes me ask the question of why Talis Joyce never got a shot over Mary Earps last season.
I mean, to
Because
be fair, Mary Earps is Mary Earps. No, like,
yeah, but she did have like a run of really poor games last season.
yeah, yeah, yeah,
So I'm still wondering, like, yesterday in particular, seeing her play, um, like it made me wonder, like, the command she has over the box, like the claims that she was making from set pieces, etc. It just made me wonder, like, why we didn't see her a little more. But anyway,
yeah.
I mean, it's worked out for her well this season. So that's awesome.
Yeah.
Ash, any last thoughts on the game?
I just, I feel like it'll be an exciting final. Like, I'm hoping that these lackluster semifinals lead to like a blockbuster final, Chelsea versus United. Hopefully, Chelsea finds their scoring boots.
Yeah, I hope some people are back fit at that point. Anyway, we'll have to wait and see on that because there are a lot of games in between. But Ash, I think we'll come back uh, during this week with some preview for the WSL games that happen in the weekend. We also have our score predictions corner that I have forgotten what we call it. But anyway, there's
Fan
some score.
pundit corner,
Yes,
yeah.
the fan pundit corner. And I have scored a lot of points this weekend, I know, because I got the score line right for the Chelsea versus
You scored
Liverpool
four
game.
points. 4 points,
Yes,
okay.
and
I
you
scored
scored zero.
No, I
Oh
scored
no, you
one. I
once.
did think Chelsea would win. I thought they would
Yeah,
win by 3-1.
sorry, I apologize. But anyway, so yeah, so we'll be back with our predictions and some thoughts on the upcoming WSL match day. But until then, just a reminder to all of you to subscribe to the channel, share it with your women's football friends, and yeah, like our videos, and obviously like a reminder to leave some comments because we do love hearing from you and having a chat with all of you. All right, until our next video, just bye from both of us.